Hey guys, welcome to the ST2K show. This is Ronmower. It is Tuesday evening, July 7th, I think, 2009, I think. And I am here with Icon Buster 57, Blackgate Studios, and I think 5 or 6 other people. I don't know. How's it going, guys?
Chilling.
It's going pretty good.
Yep.
The one person you didn't introduce is Justin Elam from Live It, Learn It, and Die. Is that correct?
Well, it's Learn It, Live It, or Die, but it's cool.
All right, I just wanted to get your name out of there, since I think you're the most popular out among us anyways.
Live it, love it, learn it. And I didn't want to, well, his real name was on Skype. I wasn't sure if he wanted me to say his real name for everybody. That's why I didn't say that. But
he calls his reviews Elam reviews, don't you?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. I'm Justin
Everyone
Elam.
knows you as Justin Elam anyways, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So,
And for those of you who have not seen Magus's commentary on Skip Rogers yet, it's uploaded now. He commentates over Skip's review of Castlevania 2 and Blaster Master, and Skip Rogers has been replying to a lot of the comments lately. Skip Rogers invited somebody, Jimbo Joy, as a friend, and Jimbo Joy replies, "That's for the invite." I think he meant to put "thanks for the invite." As Skip would say, anyway. All right, and glad to see Magus doing the commentary again. And tonight we're supposed to be talking about wrestling, but with the S2K show the way it is, it should be called the off-topic show. But the main topic we're going to try to stick with is Raw last night. Icon Buster seen most of it, but he fell asleep in the main event. I did not see any of it at all, and I haven't really, since I lost cable last August or September, I've not really watched wrestling, period. I've just heard about it. I didn't even get to watch WrestleMania this year, which really sucked. I mean, not the pay-per-view, but the fact that I couldn't watch it sucked. And
well, actually, no, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of people say right now WrestleMania, 25 isn't, the best out of all the WrestleManias. Yet it had one of the best matches on there. That was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, I heard
Hi,
that.
guys. What did I miss?
I heard that match was awesome. And who is this?
Donut Man.
Oh, okay.
Who
I'm here.
are you?
I'm here with a policeman now. Okay, and we were talking about wrestling. We are in a show called the S2K show. I'm sure everybody has heard about it around the world. And we're talking about wrestling right now. We're about to talk about what happened on Raw last night. Are you a wrestling fan?
No,
Hello.
not really.
Back in my early days, I've kind of missed it now, as far as it goes now.
It's not really that. I haven't watched that much in about a year, but even before that, I stopped watching it because it just ain't as good no more as it was back in the day. I think since 2003, or maybe 2002, 2004, 2005, I've really started having enough of it. It's just not as good anymore, and the WWE is the only game in town. WCW is gone, ECW is gone, except you got the sorry watered down version of ECW today, which is not ECW. I don't care what anybody says. It's more like WWECW. But back to Raw last night. Icon Buster, go ahead and I guess give us a quick rundown of some of the matches that happened and anything interesting that may have happened last night.
Well, Raw actually was a very good show. My biggest thing about Raw I thought was interesting was the whole storyline. They brought Ted DiBiase back, the original $1 Million Man, and he hosted the show last night, and he had his son go up against Randy Orton, and it turned out to be a really good match. So, also they had I'm trying to think because last night they had a lot of just different storylines and everything, and I sound like an idiot right now. Anyways,
I did see on PW Insider that Ted DiBiase was there, but I thought they meant Ted DiBiase Jr.
No, they meant Ted DiBiase Sr. was there. And
Oh.
he pretty much ran the show. He put Dusty Rhodes against Mark Henry, which wasn't much of a match because Dusty Rhodes ran away. And then they put...
Wait a minute, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes?
No, did I say Dusty Rhodes? I meant his son. What's his son's name?
Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes. Yes, I apologize. It was Cody Rhodes that...
Okay.
Thank you. It was Cody Rhodes who fought Mark Henry and ran away. Who else wrestled last night? They had a Diva match with Gail Kim and Mickie James taking on Maurice and Alicia Fox, which wasn't a bad match, but it ended with Gail Kim pulling the victory off over Maurice, which was kind of it kind of ended in a weird spot because you expect like someone to when Gail Kim hit her finishing move, whatever, the Alicia Fox to run in, but she just kind of sat at the sidelines and let her partner get pinned.
Yeah, and I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. I said that 5 times already, but so I'm not going to know some of these names. And I did see a video on YouTube a while back. I think it was on YouTube or WWE.com that Gail Kim was coming back to the WWE. Why the heck did she leave TNA?
I have no idea. I think it was money reason.
Well,
TNA wasn't.
Sorry to interrupt you, but didn't she she left WWE due to contract dispute or something like that, and then she went to TNA and she wrestled over there for quite a while, and then I don't know, something like that. I don't really know the full story. I think it was like contract dispute or something.
I think
and
she helped start the TNA Women's Division. I think, did she?
Yeah, she started. What's the division called? It's called a Divas division or something. The Divas Champion or something like that.
No, in TNA they're called Knockouts.
Okay, yeah, something like that.
And so yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I actually didn't have anything to say. You go ahead.
Well, I've seen on PW Insider, and this site pretty much inspired me to do this type of show where they do a lot of audio shows in the premium section of their site, and they talk about wrestling. And I'm looking on their site right now, and apparently Aerosmith is supposed to be providing the official theme song for SummerSlam. So, yeah, that's pretty big. Aerosmith, one of the greatest music legends ever. And it says Aerosmith will be providing the official theme song for SummerSlam, entitled "You Gotta Move" from their album Honkin' on Bobo. And
Heard that album yet.
And in other news, it says it looks like, probably for now at least, the WWE have renamed their second October pay-per-view back to Cyber Sunday, and that's how it's listed on their upcoming pay-per-views box on their website. With WWE.com, you never know for sure. And didn't they change the name of a pay-per-view already? I forgot what it was. I don't know if it happened already or it's going to happen. I don't know if you heard about that. They changed...
Well, they changed a couple names for pay-per-views, like Extreme Rules used to be called ECW's Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
And the Bash used to be called the American Bash. Now it's just called the Bash.
It started out in WCW. It was called the Great American Bash or something back in the day.
Yeah, in WCW it was called the Great American Bash, and WWE adopted it, and then now they just call it the Bash.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the whole Great American Bash. I liked it better that way, but
Isn't that where Sting beat Flair for the world title for the first time?
I see. I'm not much up on WCW.
I think that if I remember correctly, I think that's where Ric Flair and Sting used to have quite a rivalry back in WCW. I think if I remember correctly, they had a pay-per-view where they had actually two world champions. It was like WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and it was WCW Champion. The World Heavyweight Champion was representing NWA at the time, and they were trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
It was like a unification match or something.
I think that's when I forgot his name, David Crockett or whatever the heck, Jim Crockett Promotions sold the company to Ted Turner, and then it became WCW.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was originally by Jim Crockett, and then Ted Turner picked it up, and then Eric Bischoff started running it after that, and that's which pretty much promoted it as WCW, so it was NWA, WCW for a while there.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like 8 or 9 years old, back in 88, 89. I remember Sting having, it was a promo poster, I think, that they showed on TV where Sting had his face painted like the American flag, and I think that was the pay-per-view where Sting, maybe for the first time, I'm not sure, beat Flair for the title. Flair was about to put Sting in a figure-4 laylock. Sting reversed it by rolling up Flair in a cradle pin and then won the world title. And that's when everybody actually started to come in the ring and celebrate when Sting won the world title. That was a young, spiked, blonde-haired Sting.
Yeah, that's before he went, what did he go, black and white, so to speak, like NWO almost?
Yeah. Emo Sting, yeah.
He became the Crow Sting.
Yeah, what happened was, it was 95 or 96 when it happened. Everybody, including his best friend Lex Luger, thought Sting joined the NWO because there was a fake imposter Sting posing as Sting. And they wouldn't believe Sting when Sting denied it. And so he got all emo and just became his own man. And nobody knew for sure which side he was on. So he's kept that character ever since. So it's been over 10 years now he's been the Dark Sting.
Yeah, I think I don't know how he managed to keep it out. I mean, because when WWE bought him out, I mean, I'm assuming that most of that was under WCW's banner. I mean, I'm sure maybe he had to do some legal issues or something to keep the Sting, the emo Sting look. I mean, but I'm not really quite sure on that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Maybe WCW sold Sting the rights to that before it shut down, or I don't know. Maybe he just bought it from the WWE. Say, can I please keep this gimmick?
I mean, Goldberg did the same thing. I mean, what did he do? He appeared as Goldberg in WWE, but I think he's still known as Bill Goldberg. He did, what was that racing series that he did? I can't think of the name of it right now. It was
Well, I don't.
Real name though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's his real name, so WWE can't do anything about that. But the racing show, I think, is like a reality show. Is that right? On Spike TV.
It was a reality show, and it was like they'd race in the desert or something like that, and it was like teams. It was like a death race or something like that. I can't think of the name of it.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen some of it on TV. But anyway, so Victoria is Victoria in TNA now?
Yes, she is.
When did she go there?
Right before their last pay-per-view, she went over there and started a feud with Angelina Love.
Oh, okay.
Now she's known as Tara the Tarantula, and she carries a spider. And Thursday she's gonna have a match with Velvet Sky, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to.
So who is the TNA champion right now?
I think it was Awesome Kong last time I checked, right? I mean, or is it
Well, what?
Are you talking about Knockout Champion?
Yeah, Knockout Champ.
Knockout Champion is Angelina Love.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Awesome Kong is the TNA World Champion?
Oh, no.
No, sorry. No, that was Knockout Champion. I think Kurt Angle's the World Champion right now.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's the World Champion.
I was going to say, wow, they really are giving Awesome Kong a push. That's the Brock Lesnar,
So actually, that would be cool, but I doubt that would ever happen in 1,000 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Funny is the story, though.
We've seen a woman Intercontinental Champion in China, but as far as a woman World Heavyweight Champion, that would be, it would kind of be, I could see people would think, that'd be bad for the business because that means a woman could beat up a man, but at the same time, that's going to be kind of sexist because there are some women that could beat the crap out of some men in real life. So Awesome Kong can hold her own against some of the TNA roster, the men in particular. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that. Have Awesome Kong somehow, I don't know, maybe not tap out the ankle lock and beat her angle or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, did they do that with Triple H when, with China? Like, China was like his bodyguard, and like when they had the whole DX thing going. I mean, And, like, she beat the shit out of some of those guys, like The Rock and them. I mean...
Yeah, and she flipped off Stone Cold, but Stone Cold didn't put up with that, put the stunner on her, which is awesome. And I think Stone Cold was the first wrestler to put his hands on China.
Yeah, I think so.
I know I keep wanting them to take Beth Phoenix and push her to be in the males division. Like, maybe let her win, like, the Intercontinental Championship or something.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix is the modern day.
Just having her.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix is the modern day China of the WWE. Much more attractive China. And are they still doing that storyline with Santino and Beth Phoenix?
No, Santino's just by himself now, and I guess he's kind of a good guy right now, and Beth Phoenix is, still a bad guy or whatever, and she's got her protege, which I can't think of her name at the moment, but
she's a bad guy.
She really hasn't much of a storyline lately. She just kind of pushed her back because there's other things going on right now in the WWE.
And I'm much clueless as to what's going on storyline-wise and all that stuff. I mean, the last thing I really kept up with was, I think, WrestleMania or Backlash. Orton won the world title from Triple H. Is that right?
I want to say maybe.
Because I know he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania, but I think he won it at Backlash, from what I understand.
No, he never lost it. Well, yeah, he did lose. Oh, he lost his match against him at WrestleMania, which Triple H had the belt at WrestleMania, and he beat him. And then the very next pay-per-view, which I guess is Backlash, yeah, he won it at Backlash.
Okay, so is Orton still the champion now?
Yes, even though he lost it for Batista for like one day, and then like Batista got injured, so Randy Orton somehow he won the title back. So.
Orton is, Batista's injured again?
Yes.
I mean, that's how he lost the title the first time he got injured.
Yeah, I know.
And on sick leave. Well, how did he mess up himself the first time? I forgot how he did it. He tore like a ligament or something like that. I mean, I don't really...
I think
it's been a while since I've watched wrestling, so I mean...
He tore something in his muscle in his arm or something. I don't remember. That was back in 2005. I forgot. But speaking of injuries, here Edge just suffered a Achilles tendon injury or something like that. Is that correct?
Who now?
Edge.
Edge, oh. Yeah, I think I'm not exactly sure what happened to Edge. I know he was out for a while because of like an arm. Huh?
I'm not sure either, I just don't.
Yeah, from what I heard, Edge has been injured. And...
Again?
Yeah.
Now?
I saw it here a few minutes ago before we recorded. I'm going to have to... if y'all go ahead and find something to talk about, I'll try to find it.
Whatever happened to Christian?
Oh, he's back on WWE.
Oh, he joined, because last time I heard, like, he left TNA and then he went to, I guess, I don't know what the hell happened to him. I was assuming that he went to independent circuit, but maybe I was wrong.
Oh, he was ECW champion for a little bit, and then he's right now doing a storyline, I guess, with Tommy Dreamer or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing at the moment.
So wait, they stuck him on ECW. Was that for the spite because he went to TNA? I mean, because he was on Raw or SmackDown a while back ago. I mean,
I don't know. I wish they put him on Raw because he deserves to be. Right now, Raw is lacking in talent. Even though they got 3 kind of big names going to their show, they're still not that high. Their roster isn't that great, and I think Christian on their roster would make their roster just a little bit better.
I mean, more or less. I mean, The Rock. I mean, I know The Rock left. Stone Cold Steve Austin left. I mean, I don't know if Triple H is still on there. I mean, I think he got drafted to SmackDown, I would think.
No, he's still on Raw.
Oh, okay, so he went back to Raw because the last time I checked, he was like on SmackDown.
Yeah, he was on SmackDown. He's drafted back to Raw. He's having a rivalry with Randy Orton again, and in fact, he's at the main event of this next pay-per-view. That was the final match of this last Raw was John Cena versus Triple H John Cena versus Triple H, and the winner of that match was supposed to meet Randy Orton. Well, both matches, but both people, Randy Orton had them both disqualified, and because he had them both disqualified, Ted DiBiase came out and said, well, because they're both disqualified, neither of them lost, so they're both going to fight you at the next pay-per-view. So the next main event is a triple threat match between Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton for the world title.
I think John Cena, they almost kind of push him to be the champ because, if I remember correctly, they were pushing like his theme thing was like the champ is here or something. So maybe that's kind of like a bad move on their part. I mean, because he almost has to be the world's champion all the time to at least keep the image going, because that's how they set him up, so to speak.
Well, he hasn't actually been champion for a while now, and he's actually been wrestling too, which is kind of weird because I expected him to be champion for a lot longer or whatever. But no, they've actually downplayed him a lot, which is kind of weird because for a while he was like the biggest star they had or whatever. So
I don't know.
Can I say something? Well, it's more of a question. What is your guys' favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler of all time is Hulk Hogan.
I used to like The Rock and Stone Cold back in the day.
Mine's still, huh?
Yeah, no, I used to like The Rock and Stone Cold and Sting back in the day. Of course, this was in WCW days.
Yeah, The Rock was pretty cool. I also kind of like Booker T for some reason.
Sucker!
Booker T's still pretty good, and he does a pretty good job on TNA. But a lot of times you just don't understand what he's saying because he does this like weird African accent now that's kind of just like way out there, and it's real funny actually.
Is he acting like? Didn't they slowly transition him to the King Booker gimmick?
Yeah, TNA did. They started him off as Booker T, and then they turned him back into the King.
Because I loved the King Booker gimmick in the WWE, especially when he was a champion, and then he won first he won the King of the Ring in 2006, then he won the world title, then he won the King of Kings title at Vengeance or whatever, where it was
They didn't win the King of Kings title. Triple H beat him, and that was his last match, and it was at SummerSlam.
No, wait, not that one. No, not that one. I'm talking about the champion, not a champions match. Champion versus champion versus champion. It was ECW.
Yeah, he became King of the Champions. Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, and that's what really made him live up to the gimmick King of Kings, the King Booker. He is the King of Champions there. So then he lost it to Batista, which they shouldn't have had Batista won it yet. They had him lose. I think they had him lose the belt to Batista at Survivor Series 06, and they should have waited until WrestleMania 23, which I think was in 2007. Yeah, but no, they want to have Batista win it at Survivor Series, which I thought was lame. They should have had the feud culminate at WrestleMania 23, and then have Batista beat King Booker.
Well, didn't they have like Ultimate Champions or something? It was like tag belts. It was TNA X Division, and then it was World Champion. It was like Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle or something that was going at it at the time. I mean,
well, you guys are talking about two different shows right now.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
But anyway, here's the news story about Edge, posted today. WWE.com has acknowledged Edge's torn Achilles tendon injury. The injury, which took place at the July 3rd house show in San Diego, will be operated on today by Dr. James Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama. That's the same doctor that worked on Triple H's quad injury. The surgery was...
The person you're trying to reach is not here at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone.
What the...
What the fuck?
Hey, who did that? That was not me. Anyway.
Justin?
I don't know if someone's trying to call me. If they are, they need to read my status, which says busy.
Okay, but anyway, back to the video.
Yeah, where's that at? Okay, the surgery was set to take place at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We should have further updates on the story later today. You can follow us on Twitter Twitter.com/pwinsider.com. Okay, so yeah, apparently he torn his Achilles tendon injury. Supposed to be operated on today, so I guess we keep checking back on the site probably today or tomorrow and see if we can find anything new about that. So, Randy Orton is the WWE champion, is that right?
Yes.
So
Well, yeah, that's right.
Who's the world champion?
The world champion is CM Punk.
Oh, okay. And who did he get the belt from?
He beat Jeff Hardy beat Edge in a ladder match, and then he beat Jeff Hardy right after that match using the Money in the Bank.
Okay. Yeah, the Money in the Bank match. That's always good. Was it good this year as well?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. It had some good stars in it, I thought. Mark Henry was in it, which was weird because Mark Henry never made it really that far up that ladder.
Mark Henry. Neither did Bobby Lashley. Remember that?
Not exactly.
It was
He's
one.
fighting now. He's doing MMA right now, I think, huh?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley's in MMA.
It was
He's supposed to do a TNA match here and there too, and they brought him out twice, showed him to everybody, and then they did nothing with him, and now nobody even knows if he's even on the show or not. It's like, what did they do with him?
Bobby Lashley. It was the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23. It was the one where Mr. Kennedy won, I think.
Oh, okay.
But Vince McMahon
Yeah,
got
I remember
Yeah, and Vince McMahon got straight bald against Donald Trump. I think that was the WrestleMania. And Bobby Lashley was like, it looked like he's really afraid of heights, or he's just not a good actor, or something, because he barely climbed the second rung, act like he was tired or couldn't climb it, and waiting for the next person to hit him and knock him off the ladder. It looked real awkward. But anyway, Bobby Lashley is like you said, he's in MMA now. Do you know which company? Is it Pride Fighting, or where's he trying to go to?
I think it's UFC, if I believe correctly. He was doing UFC, or it was Elite XC. It was one of those companies right now. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar's still the UFC champion, right?
Yes. So, yes.
Yes.
I think he's supposed to fight Frank Mir, if I'm not mistaken. It's supposed to be a rematch. Frank Mir beat him a while back. So, who knows? Maybe Frank Mir can make Brock Lesnar tap out again. But Brock Lesnar was really beating the snot out of Frank Mir in that match. I don't know if y'all seen that. Frank Mir did make him tap out quickly, but Brock really made his presence felt in the MMA world. Where I like how Brock Lesnar's a champion because he was somebody who was known as a wrestler, a quote unquote fake wrestler. And he's proven that not all wrestlers are fake, and that some wrestlers are really tough in real life. They can whoop pretty much anybody. Not all wrestlers are fake. They really can defend themselves, and they really are tough. So I'm glad Brock Lesnar's representing. I don't think he's really representing the wrestling world. He's representing himself. But you know what I mean.
Well, Samoa Joe, if I think correctly, Samoa Joe and actually Kurt Angle actually train in mixed martial arts, and they actually do MMA stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to make the jump to MMA, but, I mean, I know they train in it.
I don't think Kurt Angle would want to jump to something like MMA or anything because Kurt Angle, I'm surprised he's still wrestling now because of the way his neck is. I mean,
yeah.
One of the reason why from what I understand, the reason why he left WWE to go to TNA was just for the simple fact he couldn't handle WWE's schedule.
Yeah.
They had I think they run 365 days a year, and that's how they roll. I mean, just like every day you're beating your body up almost. So.
Yeah, they're pretty rough on people.
Yeah. I mean, that's why when I was a kid, I had aspirations of being a wrestler, but when you get older, sometimes your options change. And I started to learn about wrestling. I said, nah, I think I'll stick with being a fan. I'll stick with talking about it.
Actually,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually trained a little bit as a wrestler, but I didn't have the money to keep going with the program or whatever. But I know a little bit what they go through and everything. I mentioned that on the last video.
Yeah. I found out, I seen an ad on pwinsider.com that Hulk Hogan's having a fan appreciation day or something. I think Friday, July 10th. I wish I can go to that because, you know, he's been my favorite wrestler of all time. He won't be wrestling, but I guess the fan appreciation. It reminds me of Steve Austin Appreciation Night when he was with the Alliance. Remember that angle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Kurt Angle came out with a milk truck and sprayed everybody, the whole Alliance members, with milk. Y'all remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
It was
I remember
it was a hilarious parody of the Steve Austin beer truck when Steve Austin came out with the beer truck and sprayed the corporation with beer.
I remember that. I remember seeing that. That was sick when I saw it. I was like, oh man, look at this. I mean, they built Austin to be a badass in WWE, and I don't know, when he did that movie, I almost kind of think and maybe kind of downplayed him a little bit, but I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. You know, what was the movie, The Condemned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he when he first turned heel at WrestleMania 17, and he started to be on the same side with Vince McMahon, I was like, I don't care. I'm still a Steve Austin fan. This guy's awesome. You know, I thought he was going to be an awesome heel to where he's just cold-blooded. And then slowly he started turning into a sissy, singing with the guitar and hugging Vince McMahon and all that stuff. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. They're making Steve Austin look so sorry. Why are they doing this? I'm surprised Steve Austin did that.
Yeah, but no, he came back when Team WWF was getting beat down. Like, it was that one Raw episode. He like WCW and ECW, the Alliance angle was going on, and they brought him back as like the old Stone Cold. And then, you know, that kind of like made everybody's day just about. I mean, I know it made my day when that happened.
Yeah, and then it only lasted like for 2 weeks when you found out he betrayed WWE and jumped over to the Alliance.
Yeah. I've been watching that lately on VHS, and, you know, we need the old Stone Cold. And first he was depressed and emo for some reason, and then he came back and became the old Stone Cold, and then in the Alliance, in the Invasion main event, he turned on the WWE and joined the Alliance. And I'm like, whoa. But, you know, I didn't know they was going to have him be the sissy Steve Austin again, giving hugs and all that stuff. And it's like, I didn't like Steve Austin no more. But then, after that angle was over, at Survivor Series 01, where it was a winner-take-all match between the Alliance and the WWE, the next night, Steve Austin went back to his old self. And then that's when the what thing became a real phenomenon. What?
Yeah.
No, like with the Alliance, the only problem that I really had with the Alliance, because they didn't have the main eventers, DDP, Booker T, Goldberg, and a few others in there, and you know that kind of really killed it for everybody.
Well, they did have Booker T and DDP and.
Well, they had Booker T and DDP, but they didn't have Scott Steiner, Sid Vicious.
The NWO didn't come until like months later, and then the NWO showed up finally, and that was a whole different angle. Remember that?
Yeah, Kevin Nash set out his contract, his AOL contract, Time Warner Con, whatever the heck it was called, and when it expired at the end of 2001. And I don't know if he was allowed to go to WWE or he just didn't want to. He wanted to stay home, have a vacation, and get paid, and keep getting paid to sit at home until his contract expired, then go to WWE. Then that's when the NWO started, and the only good thing that came out of that was the return of Hulkamania.
Yeah, well, I like the Rock and Hogan match is probably one of my top favorite matches of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't an awesome wrestling match per se, but, it's just like Hogan and Andre. It wasn't a good wrestling match, but the electricity, that was in the air, that sounds corny. The electricity was in the air, so to speak, and how hyped the match was and how big the icons are. Like, whoa, Hogan and The Rock? Nobody ever dreamed that match would happen. Because... I was going to say because, Hogan and WCW, we never knew Vince McMahon would buy the WWE. We never expected that. And then all of a sudden, all these dream matches started to happen. We had Goldberg brought Lesnar, which was a disaster. But let's not even talk about that. Hogan and The Rock, wow, here we go. We never thought these two icons would wrestle each other. So that's one of the things that made it big. And then Hogan was supposed to be the heel that night, but instead he was the face because he was so popular with the fans.
Yeah, no, because it was his descent. Because he was heel in WCW for I don't know how long, for quite a few years. So, like, he turned heel once he went to WCW, and then he turned back to face. So it was like the fans kind of, seeing him back into his old light or old days of glory, so to speak, maybe.
Yeah.
I remember that's what made that match was the fans, because the match started out like anytime The Rock did something, the fans would boo, and you had like the fans. I mean maybe that's the greatest match for the fans, because it was really the fans fighting. You could hear them verbally fighting in the background. It just made that match kind of really cool for me, I think.
Yeah, I was watching over here with my friends, and the first, there was like a lot of friends in my apartment watching it, and there was like 2 or 3 outside my door talking outside, and the part where I think The Rock put the rock bottom on Hogan, then Hogan kicked out and did the hulking up thing. He started hulking up, and everybody in the living room was like, oh. Like, he started to hulk up, and then people outside opened the door. What's going on? What's going on? And Hulk Hogan was hulking up, and everybody in the, what's the name of that arena? WrestleMania 18, the Sky Dome. Everybody in the Sky Dome was going crazy. Everybody in my living room was going crazy. Oh, he's hulking up. Oh, we haven't seen that in a long time. That was a glimpse of the old Hulk Hogan. It was such great nostalgia to see that.
Yeah, that was really cool. But yet the Sky Dome curse or whatever still was over Hogan's head at the end of the match.
Yeah.
The Sky Dome curse, because the Ultimate
Warrior. His Ultimate Warrior beat him. And, yeah, at the outcome of that match, I thought the NWO, when Scott Hall and Nash jumped Hogan, I thought that was going to be a setup to jump The Rock again. But no, it was Hogan slowly, pretty much quickly turning face again. And then, so that was pretty cool.
Well, they knew. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I read Hogan's book on this, and he said that the reason why they jumped him to face so quick is they didn't even know if they were going to, that night at WrestleMania 18, there was a big discussion between Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan whether or not he was going to go back to his yellow and red stuff that night, because they noticed that during the rivalry between Rock and Hogan, that Rock was getting booed and Hogan was getting cheered like crazy, and they couldn't understand why, because they were trying to make The Rock the good guy, but it wasn't working. And Hogan, because just seeing Hulk Hogan in WWE again made the fans so excited that they didn't even care about anybody else at that moment.
Yeah. Let's see. So, anything else to talk about on Raw last night?
Overall, I just thought Raw was a really good show. It was one of the better ones they've had in a long time, and I thought if I hadn't fallen asleep, I'm pretty sure the main event was good. I was so tired. I had such a long day yesterday that I just kind of fell asleep in the last match. But I seen how it ended. That's about all I can tell you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, Raw was a good show. I mean, it's getting some of its extent. For like the last few months, Raw's been kind of the weakest of all 3 shows, believe it or not, because SmackDown has been a lot better than Raw, like totally. So, and ECW has been pretty good too. It hasn't been bad, even though it's only an hour long. And their superstar shows kind of growing on me.
They're brand new ECW. I don't really like the new ECW that much. The older ECW version, I'm probably more of a fan to it because it was more hardcore, but the newer stuff is a little bit, watered down for me.
I don't know why they call it ECW. I mean, I know they need a third brand or whatever, just kind of throw their new guys on there. That's really what it is. It's so they can bring the new talent in or whatever, but they should call it something else besides ECW. I don't know.
It's the national televised version of Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Well, isn't it that like their pushing brand or something like that? Almost, I can't. How am I supposed to put it? What makes the stars? It's like the playground for making superstars for WWE.
Yeah. Well, WWE has another place that's like a non-televised thing that they use to help, bring stars in. But then ECW is like the first place they go. And then after that, they get either drafted to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and so, I wanted to ask this earlier. I've been wanting to know this for a long time. Why the heck did Christian leave TNA?
I have no idea. I think personally it was a dumb move, but maybe he was just having trouble with the company itself. I don't know.
And is Samoa Joe still in TNA?
Yeah, he's still over there.
Yeah, he's still.
He's just
He's a what?
He's a heel now.
Okay. Unless he was acting like he was all by himself and his face is painted and like a revamped character of Samoa Joe. About the Nation of Violence and all this weird stuff. I'm like, what are they doing with him?
The Nation of Sellout, because he sold out to the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah. But I think WWE would still do worse with him. So I'm glad he didn't go to WWE.
Well,
but go ahead.
I was going to say, out of all the wrestlers in TNA that are like original TNA stars, I think he's the only one over there that's actually big enough to actually have some kind of impact in the WWE if he actually did come over.
Yeah, he could probably have a feud with Umaga if Umaga's still there.
Well, Umaga, actually, I heard Umaga might be going to TNA, and so is Mr. Kennedy, but...
Wow. Umaga versus Samoa Joe.
That would be a good match.
Yeah, I argued with somebody online. I think they was telling me, Umaga's a better wrestler. He's a real Samoan. All right, okay, thank you, Skip Rogers. I guess that means that Umaga is automatically better because he's a real Samoan, and Samoa Joe is not. So that right there automatically qualifies as Umaga being a better wrestler. Shut up. Anyway.
I actually like Umaga better than Samoa Joe, but at the same time, it'd be an interesting match, no matter. I don't know who. I guess it depends on who they were trying to push at the time and who was going for the title or whatever. It'd be who wins that match.
Samoa Joe has much better matches, much better worker. He'll wrestle circles around Umaga.
I don't know. I don't think he'd really wrestle circles around Umaga, but I think he. I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, Samoa Joe and hold on. Umaga. I think he has more of an aggressive style, maybe, and I guess I could say maybe Samoa Joe has a little bit less aggressive style of wrestling, more to speak. I mean, it's more entertainment purposes, and Umaga's all in your face type deal. I guess I could say that.
Samoa Joe, I mean, his match with AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, I mean, he was cold-blooded. And, I mean, he was bloodied them up. He would have a towel with dropped blood all the time with AJ Styles' blood on it, or Christopher Daniels' blood on it. And, and Samoa Joe, I think the only thing Umaga can do is a freaking butt bump and the Samoan spike and Samoan drop. It's like a 3-move wrestler. That's pretty much it. And, but anyway, in other news. What?
I was just thinking my last point on that. I think the reason why, I have to disagree with Blackgate a little bit. I think it's actually Umaga who's more of the one who does the more for the show, where Samoa Joe's more the aggressor. And the reason why is because Umaga had done that kind of animal-like gimmick and everything. And I don't really know what kind of moves Umaga can do, because I think WWE for a while just had Umaga limited to a certain set of moves so that he could play that character as the monster or whatever.
And Umaga used to be 1/2 a 3-minute warning. I think it was Jamal. And that tag team didn't last long. I mean, first of all, that tag team was pretty awesome when they first started. I mean, they would come out and just beat up anybody. I mean, anybody. Beat the women and
with 3-minute warning. Yeah,
3-minute warning. Then they became official full-time tag team. They had a sorry entrance music, and they didn't last too long after that. So the entrance music ruined their career. No.
That'd be great.
Watch out for, here I'm going to skip. Watch out for bad entrance music. The bad entrance music could end your career. I don't know if the other three people on the show even know who I'm talking about, Skip Rogers. But anyway, I have more wrestling news here. Matt Hardy is injured also.
That don't surprise me.
Matt Hardy just posted the following on his MySpace page about his current injury. Man, he was working through some nasty stuff there. When your intestines start breaching the abdominal wall, that is serious stuff, folks. So I'm going to read some of this. Well, guys and gals, since the news has been leaked out all over the net, I figured I should go ahead and address it truthfully. Yes, the rumors are true. I had some major surgery a couple of days ago. The triple threat match against MVP and Kofi in Green Bay was the straw that broke the camel's back. In a few days, I'm going to blog on my WWE Universe page and fill everyone in on everything. But here's a little taste of how tough and annoying the last 2 years of my life has been. For 2 years, I've been working with a slight abdominal tear, a genetic defect that I was actually born with. Even though we torture ourselves every night in that ring for each of your guys' entertainment. But don't get me wrong, we love it and choose to do it. The tear hasn't been anything that has really over-affected me performance-wise until my appendectomy. Appendectomy, I can't read that. From when I returned in April 2008, my abdominal tear became gradually worse. I was having a U.S. title run I was very proud of, so I sucked it up. I became the ECW champion and was having one of the best runs of my career, and the abdominal injury really started bothering me. So I sucked it up. I wanted to get it fixed before it got pretty bad, but I had an issue with Jeff on TV, which would ultimately lead us to wrestling one another at the show of all shows, WrestleMania. So I sucked it up and got through it. Basically, in a nutshell, my intestines were slowly tearing through my abdomen, which affected my training greatly, my in-ring work, and my physical appearance. My intestines were slowly swelling because they were all out of whack and protruding through my abdominal wall. But I sucked it up and gave everything I had. I haven't been able to do a sit-up in 2 years, and as I totally expected, the little wannabe cool guys that feel like badasses behind a keyboard love to make comments about my weight gain because I was being lazy. Little did they know, or yet probably even care, that I've stayed constantly frustrated that I was dealing with these serious complications. And there's a lot more to read. So yeah, pretty much an intestine injury or something like that. That does not sound good.
I never complained about Matt. I never even really noticed Matt Hardy had been gaining weight or whatever, but ouch.
Yeah, really.
Well, maybe it's a lot of the abuse that they take in that ring, because, I mean, that ring, yeah, everybody thinks that ring is, like, all soft and stuff, but, like, from what I hear, that ring, that people that I know that train in wrestling, that ring, it hurts like a bitch if you get slammed on that thing, right? And you could seriously injure yourself by, you know, a wrong move or whatever.
Yeah. And, okay, we're about to wrap it up here. We have two other people on the show who barely said anything. Would you two like to say something before we go?
Captain Lou Albano for the win.
That's hilarious.
Captain Lou Albano.
J-Man's listening right now. He's probably thinking, he was on our the last show that Icon Buster was on. He was talking about Captain Lou Albano passed away. We were like, no, what? He meant Junkyard Dog. So I'm sure J-Man's laughing right now when he hears that name, Captain Lou Albano. But anyway, okay, anybody else have any final words before we wrap it up?
I think I'm good.
Nothing really. It's just that I didn't really even know that I was in this Skype chat. I came back and I hear these guys talking about wrestling, and I look at the text and it says that this Skype chat is being recorded, and I'm all like, oh shit.
You've been icon busted. You've been busted. Or
yeah, you've been busted. Oh, wow.
Oh, lordy.
All right, so that is pretty much it.
That forever. Go ahead.
So that is it. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for listening or watching or whatever. Anyway, that is it. I'm Ronmower and Icon Buster 57 and everybody else. And
Dang, what in the world?
Perfect time to end the show. I get a phone call. So that is it, and y'all take care.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.